Alan, what type of budget do you expect to see?
One that's not as tough as everyone's being prepared for. I think that there's a softening up process going on, a bit like the Commission of Audit. Here's the nastiness. We've leaked all this nastiness and created this expectation of nastiness, and it won't be quite as bad.
But the public will be expecting to see some pretty steep cuts somewhere.
Oh, there'll be cuts, of course. I'm not saying there won't be cuts. And now they will have, even though the whole thing seems to have been leaked, there'll be some things held back. There'll be a nice surprise that they can unveil on the day, I guess. But look, I mean, clearly there's going to be a tax increase, the deficit levy, or whatever you want to call it. They've said that most of the problem, and it's true, is in the out years beyond the forward estimates from last year, which is beyond 3 years from now. That's when they have to fix things. So that there probably won't be that much in the way of cuts and, in particular, tax burdens right now, the next few years, because it is the out years that are the issue.
But one of the sort of observations is that they should do big cuts now, such that when it comes to the election in 3 to 4 years' time, they have got an easy budget to put through.
Oh yeah, well everyone does that in their first budget, of course. Everyone has a tough budget first time round, of course, that's true. Because they have to break the promises that they made during the election campaign. So, tough budgets, election-breaking budgets are by definition tough. So that's what they have to do. Now
let's talk about breaking promises. You wrote in your article on Monday, you think there should be a prospectus for politicians who be forced us out to their opinions.
What an absolute joke it is that, the four horsemen of the apocalypse come in on any corporate person who lies in a prospectus or says something during a prospectus roadshow, and yet, these politicians say whatever they like. And it's not only this year, which it clearly is this time around, but it was the last time as well, and the time before that, with John Howard's famous core and non-core promises. And then before that, there was Paul Keating's LAW law, which also went out the window. So it goes way back, and it's both sides. They just say whatever they like to get into power and then chuck it out again. And I think it's a joke.
But that was the whole point of something like the PIFO, right? Where they were supposed to sort of put it all out on the table and we wouldn't see all this kind of horse trading, around the numbers. But they've even changed that, haven't they?
Well, the PIFO is a document that comes from Treasury 10 days after the writs are issued. And there it is, they're the numbers. But it doesn't really do anything about their promises. Like, they're the numbers, everyone can see that, but then they still get to come in later on and say, oh, things are much worse than we expected. I think probably what has to happen now each time someone gets elected is they have to have a Commission of Audit, which chucks out the PIFO and redoes the numbers, And the other thing about the PIFO is a part of the Charter of Budget Honesty, which Peter Costello and Howard passed in 1998. The Charter of Budget Honesty, the centrepiece of that, apart from PIFO, was the ability for all political leaders to have their policies costed. But it didn't require them to be costed, it just said they might. And then the Prime Minister might ask Treasury to cost them if somebody gives them a policy to cost. So it's crap.
And really. If the policy changes, of course, then it's not costed at all.
Well, exactly. So I don't think the Charter of Budget Honesty was in any way a solution. And in fact, I think it's made it worse.
Now back to the budget, just briefly. Do you think that this budget will help turn around some of the concerns around confidence in the business sector in Australia?
No, it'll make it worse, clearly. They are all over the place. I think that it will damage confidence, the way it looks. Who knows exactly what's in the budget, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be a clear budget in terms of the philosophy that they're going to bring about. I think they're all over the place, to be honest. And I think it's probably going to damage confidence.
Alan Kohler, thanks very much.
Thank you.